Hey internet peoples, guess what? There's no video today. Just gonna sit here and talk, so I prefer flavored. So a few friends of mine came over. They gave me a starter deck for the Pokemon trading card game. Yeah, one shot I got all this. These ones poking up are in their own sleeve. This is energy up here. Some more sleeves, a quarter. Alright, it's time for me to be honest with you guys. I couldn't exactly come up with an idea for a video today, so I thought we'd just continue with my retro game reviews. I'll be right back with the original PlayStation. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the PlayStation. Allow me to impersonate a specific retro gaming show on Amazon. Released in 1994, the PlayStation took the world by storm. Now first, I want to get to how amazing this thing looks. I mean, just look at it. Look, can you even identify who I'm trying to impersonate? Ow. Can I even find out who I'm trying to impersonate right now? Let me just go back to my regular style. So the original PlayStation. Here it is. It looks sick. It looks like it's going to become the Enterprise from Star Trek, with this being the saucer section, and these things being the jet engines, and this being the sick bay, because the memory cards, they're sick. I don't really have one on me right now, but they are really cool. Very simple button layout. Over here at the back, you have power, you have serial, not sure what that's for. AV out. In older models, you had, there were 3 models. There was the original, there was the later model, which is what I have. The sort of middle model, which had what you have here, and then a thing over here, which with the expansion port. And then the first model, which had the expansion port and everything here, and some standard composite cables. Yellow, white, and red. Over here at the front, there are 2 controller ports and 2 memory card ports. And then, like I said, the memory cards, they're sick. Over here you have your reset button. You have your power button with a little power LED, really cool. And also, I was aware when I bought this that the open button that opens this disc tray tends to get stuck. And it isn't very satisfying to close. But it is satisfying to open, and it is satisfying to play. However, no matter which way you look at it, no console is great unless it's able to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
It's time to stop!
Well, it was worth a shot. The original PlayStation is quite the console with its sleek design and beautiful power LED and awesome disc tray. But if you're wondering, how expensive is it to collect for such an exquisite console? Well, it's actually quite cheap. You can get the games for as little as maybe even 50 cents even. I got these for free. But the console itself the prices have gone down to almost $20. And the wires it uses are even cheaper, as it uses a standard DC to AV to AC cable, used with most appliances and printers and whatnot today, as well as using the same audio and video cables as the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. Probably more common than this one.
It is now story time. Originally, the PlayStation was a CD add-on for the Super Nintendo. In Japan, it was called the Super Famicom, and Sony and Nintendo wanted to create a CD add-on because CDs were DVDs or whatnot, were starting to become the next big thing in the 90s. However, Sony completely demolished their relationship. What happened was Nintendo and Sony had already come up with plans for the Nintendo PlayStation, spelled Play Space Station. However, Sony broke the deal, saying they were going to separate from Nintendo and try themselves at making their own video game console. Nintendo sued Sony because Nintendo technically owned the right to the PlayStation name. However, Sony was able to make its way around this via simply taking the space away from the name, making PlayStation all one word. Sadly, however, PlayStation games are kind of mistreated nowadays. Although they're extremely cheap to buy, it's kind of hard to find some that work. Alright, now we've gone through the basic specifications of the console. Just chill out again. Nah, come on, let's actually play the thing. And let's hope it works. Because, well, I mean, there is a 100% chance that this Marvel vs. Capcom, this will work 100%. But it's kind of hard to get the Namco Museum working, and a Dragon Ball Z fighting game that I've been wanting to play on this thing for so long doesn't work because of how scratched it is. And yes, internet, I have tried using toothpaste and deodorant. White deodorant specifically. And no, it still doesn't work. But I have another Dragon Ball Z fighting game on my Wii. We'll get to that in a while because I have a lot more consoles to review. Anyways, let's get this thing hooked up.
A few moments later.
Just as a final note, this... Focus. Oh man, that's a dirty lens. Focus. Fergles my nipples. Anyways, that was supposed to be the memory card. This is the controller. Let's hope it's even focused on the TV. Let me just turn up the volume real quick. And let me turn on the console. That sounded beautiful. Anyways, if you just give me a second, I have to unwind the controller. I tend to wrap my controllers up. Plug it into slot 1, plug the memory card in, and let's have ourselves a go at Namco Museum, which contains Dig Dug, Galaxian, Miss Pac-Man, the Tower of Druaga, Fozon, and Pole Position 2. All of which are beautiful games. A rarer game on the PlayStation, which is one of my favorite video game characters now, happens to be Vibri from the game Vib Ribbon. You guys can go ahead and look at that game.
Oh, those sounds.
You guys can go ahead and look up that game. I think, yeah, Cat Icarus made a video on it. And he went really in depth. But be aware that he is sort of a mature channel. Yeah. Whatever you do, don't turn around. I'm really going to need a microfiber cloth. Here we go. Just so happens I have a microfiber cloth.
A few moments later.
Alright, let's hope this works. Yeah. Okay. So I've cleaned off the disc using Windex. Which, yes, is a good thing for cleaning CDs. Let's just hope she works, though. And also, being the original PlayStation, it doesn't have joystick support for most of its games. Yes! Ah, frick, it's out of focus. Ah. So yeah, as I said before, this thing doesn't have joystick support. Yeah, this thing doesn't work with the joystick at all. So let me turn down the volume. So let's have a look. There's Dig Dug, Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian, The Tower of Juaga, Fozon, and one of my favorite arcade games of all time, Pole Position 2. Let's start with Dig Dug. You could also hit Start for a quick select. Now, Dig Dug, I'm sure you've probably all seen it, but if not, get ready for a new experience. So, yeah, you can hit triangle and X to change some settings. What I'm thinking of doing with this TV is making it an arcade cabinet, because it can automatically do this. Say hit X to use your spitty thing, and you don't do that. You have to, like, inflate them, which is pretty messed up. You got some pretty sick music. You could use rocks to crush them. And so yeah, there's that. It's Dig Dug. Miss Pac-Man doesn't even need an introduction. It's just Pac-Man, but with the girl. Actually, originally Miss Pac-Man wasn't going to be wasn't a Sony game, not Sony, a Namco game. Let's see, Galaxian. Not many have seen this before, unless you're on the Google Play Store. In that case, yeah, then you know what it is. Oh, yes! There's museums. The dip switches are on the face of the board. You can see the default settings with the scope icon. And the entrance to the actual game. This museum is giving me a big vibe for Doom. And we've entered Star Trek. And over here, oh my gosh! It's a full render of the freaking ship! Oh my gosh! That is amazing! That is just amazing! It's amazing because of what the ship looks like. Down there. You may be familiar with the game called Space Invaders from my Atari 2600 review. If not, I guess I'll just link it over by the high score. Yeah, we all know what this is. Oh. Oh. I wish we could see more of that. Maybe a brand new Galaxian in 3D. Except Galaga was just better. Everyone knows that. Actually, I'm not too sure. If Doom was released on the PS1, please comment if it was down below, because I really want to get that. There's the Towers of Druaga. What the frick, it's right in front of me. I've never been inside the museum for this one. Oh! It's giving me vibes for Disney World. Is this, No, wow. The instructions are over there. So, let's go. I wonder what's in the next room. Oh, Friggles. We can see here that Towers of Druaga was one of those, it was one of those, table arcade games. And hang on a minute, is this using Time Lord technology? Yeah, it is it? And that's the tower. Whatever, let's get to the game. And if you guys are wondering why, like, all the textures flicker like this, that's just the loading of the textures. So the point of this game is simply to traverse this dungeon to save Girl. I always thought it was a ripoff of The Legend of Zelda, but no, actually, I corrected myself on that one. How do I know? This game was released before The Legend of Zelda, and The Legend of Zelda had the same plot, but which one got more famous? Level 2 is when it starts getting a bit spicy. And you're probably wondering, yeah, whatever. You've seen it. Okay, so now we're gonna play Phozon. Or at least we'll check out the immersive 3D environment. Wow! Got the circuit board. Information on the dang thing. And now let's actually go into the next room, which, my gosh, I'm loving these themed rooms. Yeah. There are people up there. That is some beautiful rendering. And just like the Towers of Druaga, it is a table arcade machine. Just stretching. This game is actually pretty fun and may take a big chunk out of the video. That was close. But now here comes the hard part. Ah! Friggles. Frick it. Shish. Yes, as you can see, this game is quite challenging. Ah! Frick. Die. Yeah. Not the biggest fan of that game. But now probably one of my favorite arcade games of all time. Pole Position 2. Now, I actually played the original arcade machine at the 80s karaoke night. Let's check out its room. Holy hovercraft! They rendered a whole human being!
Oh, hi, Mark.
And a girl at that. And they got Top Gear and everything.
Yes!
Sure now.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes, gently.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
Need a zesty drink.
Wish I could go in there. Yeah, I am a huge fan of this game. If I haven't made that much of a fuss enough.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my turn to go. Calling you, and the search is a mystery. Standing on my...
Get out of the way, Hammond!
Hammond, get out of my way! I'm coming through in a Porter Turbo!
It's so hard when I try to be me. Whoa, deja vu, I just been this time before. Higher on the beat, and I know it's a place to go. Calling you, and the search is a mystery. Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my turn to go. Calling you, and the search is a mystery. Standing on my...
You know what?
It's so hard when I try to be me. Whoa, deja vu, I just been this time before. Higher on the beat, and I know it's a place to go. Calling you, and the search is a mystery. Standing on my feet, it's so hard when I try to be me. Yeah.
So yeah, that was Namco Museum. Now for a quick round of Street Fighter vs. Capcom or whatever. So here we go, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Select your hero.
Ryu is probably my favorite character in all of Capcom besides Mega Man. Yeah, Ryu and Mega Man are the same.
Ready. Fight. Attack.
Power, determination, and skill decide the victory.
Select your hero. Cyclops.
Let's go normal mode. Let's see what the difference is. Also, Captain America? Really? I mean, sure, he's a patriot, but he's not exactly the coolest superhero. I mean, what can he do? Throw a shield, that's it.
Ready. Fight.
It's like a Kamehameha! Ah, shish!
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
Thanks, Cap. For truth, justice, and the American way. Hear, hear.
Select your hero.
Yeah. Well, tell the truth, that was probably one of the better video game consoles I've seen. It's stylish, definitely, yes. And it plays some really good games. And that's pretty much it, so... Hat.